Hi, I'm Rich Costey. I'm here in Paris with Mix with the Masters, and I'm going to open up Supermassive Black Hole from the album Black Holes and Revelations for Muse. So I just made an album with them called Absolution, and it was kind of a breakthrough album for them, particularly in the United States. I think we sort of cultivated a particular sound on that album, and I kind of have a philosophy to never make the same album twice. So when we started rehearsing this, we rehearsed these songs in Miraval. They had a big live room where we would set up. By the time I got to the studio, they were already there, set up in kind of like a live rehearsal situation. And we kind of bit by bit took apart their sound because the goal was to make something that sounded different to Absolution. The material was already very different, so they had already done that. And then we looked at things like different pickups on the guitars, changed out the different amps, et cetera, et cetera. This particular song was different right from the demo. Matt had done a demo of the song, some kind of like Yamaha disc recorder or something like that, and wanted a song that kind of had a Prince feel to it, with all these layered harmonies. The basic song structure, chord structure, even the approach was already there in the demo. So we knew it was going to be something very different for them, and the challenge a little bit was to figure out how to bring it into more of a band context. At that point, they'd never done anything with programmed drums, and we still wanted it to have kind of a unique feel. So when we were making the album Black Holes and Revelations, well, it turned out to be Black Holes and Revelations, we started out in Miraval rehearsing, and then we changed studios a few times. I was living in New York at the time, so we went to New York, worked at Avatar, we did some work at Electric Lady, then went to a studio in Milan and worked there for a while. One of the things that had changed after we started recording, starting the album, we felt like we were all super excited. Absolution was a blast to make. We had so much fun, and people seem to like it, which is always nice. Doesn't always happen, but in that case, people seem to like it, so that was really fun. But at any rate, at one point, we started the album in, I think, October or something, and we were in the studio, we were in Electric Lady, maybe November, and they had got a call to headline Reading in the following summer. And that was the first time they'd ever received a call like that for a show on that level. And so we had gone from thinking we were going to take as much time as we want to we have to really head down focus, get the album done in a timely manner. It still took us a long time, but I think that really lit a fire under everybody to focus as much as possible. But we still, I mean, certainly the way I like to work, I think I was pushing them a fair bit. We all push each other in the studio, and there are a lot of times where we'd have something that sounds fine, but if it wasn't crossing some kind of line of where it felt to me it was fresh or unusual, then we would push the track even further. So in the case of Supermassive Black Hole, there were some unusual things right from the beginning, right? So we had the drum programming, that was something that was new to them. We didn't want to use regular guitar amps. We wanted to use a direct guitar signal, which is something I don't think they'd done much of before. There were a lot of layered harmonies. There was a break, a vocal hook break at the end of the chorus that Matt really wanted this sort of vocoder sound. He actually was inspired from, the idea for the vocoder break came from the dance scene in Teen Wolf. There's a dance scene in the movie Teen Wolf where at one point the song doesn't sound anything like this, but there's a little vocoder thing, and I think he watched that movie when he was younger and always wanted to do something like that. So anyway, so we had a few things we needed to do. We needed to do programmed drums, but I didn't want them to sound, I wanted them to sound kind of unusual. We needed to do live drums with it because they're a band. We had live bass, but the bass is generally processed anyway with this band. We had direct guitars instead of the normal kind of rock guitar amps. There were a little bit of keyboards, a lot of vocal stacks, and this vocoder. And the other thing is that when we started to do Matt's vocal, I didn't want it to sound really posh and expensive. There was something that felt very wrong about that. It felt, you wanted the song to have more of an angular sound and to be kind of light on its feet, and for him to feel not that serious. You know, the track is not supposed to be that serious of a song. And then we did a bunch of percussion and stuff, and so I'm gonna go through the multi-track now and we'll have a look under the hood. So if you look here on the multi-track, the way I tend to work is I like to folder things up so it's easy to look at. When this album was recorded, Pro Tools didn't have folders, so it would have just been sprayed all over the place. And the sessions were a little bit chaotic, so now we can look at it in a nice and tidy fashion, and it's a lot easier. So we're gonna listen down to the track. So obviously you got this intro, you've got this guitar, bass stabs. The drums sound kind of weird. That's on purpose, although I've sort of never gotten over it. You know, sort of the big riff here. But again, the goal was to I didn't want it to sound like some big rock song, because if the guitars were too aggressive, you'd lose the lightness of the song. So then you got the verse, and if you listen, like, the vocal sounds kind of cheap, and that was definitely by design. There's a kind of cheapness in the whole track that I think is part of why the song sounds very idiosyncratic, because even though there's a lot of intent put in it, we didn't want the song to ever sound too expensive. This chorus was not that different on the demo. The oohs, the layers of the BVs that come in, the BV response right here, that was all in the demo. But you'll see we did some interesting things with it, I think. And then here's the vocoder break.